So, hi, Cleide. Welcome to the show again.
Hi, Najma. Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure being here.
And last time we had a great conversation about gratitude, which I really enjoyed. And this time I thought we could talk a bit more about the practical aspects of gratitude, of practicing gratitude. And I know that you use it with clients in your counselling, and I know that you're also a coach and you use it there. So perhaps you can tell us how you started using gratitude as a practice.
Okay, so I believe that I am a naturally grateful person anyway. But when I started, studying gratitude, I started seeing something that I thought, wow, this is something that I really want to get into my life. And it was the first subject for my research project. So I chose gratitude. And I kind of developed my own gratitude practice. So I did a journal, and I chose my husband to be the subject of my gratitude. And so I did a 21 days journal. And so what I did, I spent some time every day. I was looking for something that he has done. So I was using this acknowledging gratitude. So, I was going around thinking, what has he done today that has made my life a bit better? So I divided it into like 3 steps. So first one was noticing. So I was deliberately going out of my way, noticing things that he has done that made my life better. And then I took some time to actually experience that gratitude. So every time I found something, I deliberately paused and I wanted to feel that, because what I was curious about was, if you do practice gratitude, will you increase your feeling of gratitude, right? So I was noticing, and I deliberately want to actually experience that feeling. How does that feel in my body when I notice someone has done something good for me? So I would stop and I would take that, take that breath and really let that sense of gratitude to go into my body. I wanted to experience that in my body. So I would breathe in that gratitude and really I was able to really feel that in me. And then I did that for 21 days, as I said. So I would write it down. I would write down, day 1, this is what I noticed. I was just looking for one thing each day. So that I went through the 21 days doing that. And on the end of the 21 days period, I actually presented that letter to my husband. I sat with him, and at the time we had been married for 21 years. So, we are married, and we've had this experience. I've always been a grateful person, but that was such an incredible moment, Najma, because I sat with him, and as I read to each day of the things he has done, both of us had tears, and I still remember when you said on your previous conversation about people experiencing the benefit even, 6 months later. Yeah. I really, to this day, when I talk about it, I feel this rush of joy, because that was so powerful that we both sat there with tears in our eyes, and my heart was really so overflowing with joy and gratitude when I read that to him. So that was a very powerful thing in my life, and it's something that I carried on. I carried on my daily practice. I always will take. It becomes so natural in you. You don't have to practice anymore, because it becomes your way. I find it very difficult going through any experience without noticing and feeling that experience of gratitude in my heart throughout the days. So that was something really tangible and so practical and so amazing that I
can imagine. I assume he didn't know you were doing this until you showed him.
He knew, he knew I was studying, he knew I was reading, but he didn't know that this is what I was doing, towards him and that writing that letter. So it was quite a nice thing, because as you imagine asking someone to sit down with you, and you have, you have something to, a letter to show. So people may not necessarily imagine it's something as great as that, So for him was a really positive experience as well as was for me. So not only I felt the benefit of experiencing that joy, but he also felt that benefit. So yeah,
Wow.
It was really precious.
Amazing. And what practices do you use with clients? Any examples?
So I often talk to them about, I use this story, and I have another one as powerful as well. So I often tell them, I have some either I will give a piece of research, or I'll give some story, some previous experience that I've had. But I often speak to the clients about how does gratitude impact you? How does gratitude actually work in you? So I talk about these steps, simply taking some time to notice. Most of my work is with couples and relationship. And if you think about when couples actually come to counseling, it's because things are not going very well in their lives, right? So they come full of negativity. They are very quick to tell what each other's done wrong. And people are so easy to notice what's going wrong in their lives. So when I speak about this practice, and I say, the first step is really taking time to notice, really taking time to, instead of looking for the bad, start looking for the good in each other's. So I talk about that first stage is noticing. And then I talk about the experience of gratitude. What we just said, I sat with my husband and both of us were in tears. So I talk to people about, what kind of experience you want to have throughout your days. Do you want to go around just hating each other or feeling, close and angry with each other? Or do you want to experience that joy? So I say, that you can't experience both. You can't experience anger and gratefulness at the same time. So I talk about the benefit in your body of, just taking that breath in and really sensing, wow, what that person did to me was so nice. It was so kind of them. So not only is doing you good, but it's doing the person. And then it's not just acknowledge. So I talk about these three stages. First, acknowledging, then feeling, taking that moment to feel, and then expressing gratitude, because it's not just good just to notice, like I did with my letter, reading it to my husband, and what a beautiful moment between us that was. Every time you take the time to genuinely express gratitude, when you come to someone and you say, do you know what, when you did that to me, it was so nice. It helped me to, it was so good to me. So when you express that, you're both, you are experiencing again that sense of gratitude, but you're also giving that person the same feeling. So it's such a powerful thing to do, So, and you can really do that. You will see the immediate change in a person's feature when you genuinely notice, feel that, and then express that sense of gratitude. So yes, it's a very, very powerful thing.
Yeah, and I mean, in my research, I found when I was researching the benefits of gratitude, one of the benefits, which is actually quite obvious, really, is strengthening relationships.
Right, absolutely. Yeah. So in a romantic relationship, but if you think of all kinds of relationships, like anyone that you say thank you for doing this, and you think about it, Najma, we talked about entering God's court with praises and thanksgiving. It is, and we talked about that password thing. So it is almost a way of, it's an act of kindness, isn't it? When you say thank you, I appreciate what you've done. When you say that, it's such a generous thing to express that. It's such a generous thing to ourselves to take that time to actually notice. Like you said earlier on the previous conversation, also just noticing a flower. Just taking that time. So you're being generous to yourself when you take time to look at something beautiful and acknowledge Wow, that is really lovely.
I was going to say, you said last time that how that's a password to God's heart. And I'm thinking
Yeah.
we're created in the image of God. So it makes sense that it's also the password to each of our hearts as well.
Absolutely, absolutely, yes. And it's to ourselves and to others, isn't it? Gratitude is a connecting thing as well. So whether you're feeling just feeling grateful for for something that's done to you, but when you express, you're connecting with that person. You are reinforcing that generosity in the other as well,
Mm.
because when you say thank you to me, and I feel appreciated, I feel that what I did to you was good to you, I want to do it more, right?
Yeah,
So it's a very it's a continuous thing. It's a very positive thing to do.
yeah,
Very beneficial.
yeah. And in the research, it says some of these are going to be obvious. It says what practicing gratitude, what the benefits of it is: increased happiness,
Yeah.
better physical and mental health. It seems like common sense in a way, doesn't it?
Absolutely, absolutely. And again, if you think about cognitively, if you are when you are angry and when you're sad and when you're depressed, your whole body posture, your whole feeling is a closed one, is a negative one. But you experience both positive and negative emotions in the same place in the brain. They both flow through the same pipeline. So again, it's like shifting, choosing, isn't it? Choosing to look at the good rather than choosing to look at the bad. So
Mm.
of course you're going to reap benefit, emotional benefit. Of course you're going to reap physical benefit. And it's such a power, such a beautiful thing. And there is no age, there is no age limit.
And I think as we're coming up to the Christmas holidays and families get together, although maybe not getting to get together so much now with COVID, but still some getting
Yeah.
together. And people talk about it being a stressful time and maybe stressful with family members that they don't see very much or even they don't get on with. And there could be a way to just implement this in these situations and to just not, have a better time.
Absolutely, absolutely. You see, the Americans, and there are some other cultures that celebrate. They have a special day, don't they? A Thanksgiving to celebrate. And there is an older practice. I don't know if they still do, but they used to go around the table and just saying what they are grateful for, in that year, or what they've been grateful for on each other members. And it's an older practice, and I think it's such a again it's such a good thing that we want to encourage. And as you say, perhaps in Christmas, we have other creative ways. We may just maybe write on our Christmas card a little thank you to something that someone in your family has done, that has made your life a bit better, or 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 feeling, taking that time to say thank you, or saying thank you to God that has allowed you to be in that place, that has done and created everything so beautifully for us, for our pleasure, for our delight, isn't it? So if we were to really pay attention, we would spend our days so much more open and so much more free from this negativity if we were to pay attention to the good things in our life, if we were to feel that sense of gratitude in our lives.
Yeah,
It will be a
sure.
much happier Christmas.
Yeah, definitely. And I think maybe we can set a little task, a little exercise to the listeners, perhaps maybe every day during the Christmas period, just write a text of gratitude to someone. That could be like a gift that you're giving them for Christmas, in addition
Absolutely.
to any other gifts you're giving
Yeah,
them. But write a
yeah,
text to someone different every day of
yeah,
the Christmas
yeah.
period.
What a lovely idea, Najma. What a lovely idea. Yes. And anything that is genuine, because if you just take a moment to think about each person that you think, one person a day, each person that you think, by the time you're searching for something, what was it that they did? If you're going to write a personal, I don't mean just getting those pass along, text kind of thing.
No.
But if you're genuinely thinking of, an aunt or a cousin or, a friend, if you think of that person and if you think one thing that they did that was, nice to you, just by taking that time and thinking about that and then writing that text, the whole of your body and your mind, your heart is going to be flowing with good things, with happy things. It is a way to happiness. Absolutely.
Yeah, so I think we can try that. I think I'm going to try that myself.
I think I'm going to try that myself as well, Najma. I think that is a lovely idea, and and I would invite everyone listening to find your own practice for gratitude, but make sure that you experiment on it, because you will be amazed how powerful that is and how positive that is for your well-being.
Excellent. So can you just let the listeners know again, remind them of your website where they can find you?
Yes. So I'm Cleide Burgess, and my website is Life to the Max. So life as in living intentionally, fulfilled, and engaged with life. So yes, I help people to find what it is missing in their lives. One of those 4 ingredients to live a fulfilled life. So yes, I don't work that much with private clients, but I would love to have a conversation. If anyone is interested, get in touch, and it will be so beautiful. I don't know how people are going to contact you after this conversation, Najma, but I would be very interested in hearing if anyone did something and found it beneficial. So let me know, will you? If anyone comes back to you and says, you know what, I did that texting thing or practice of gratitude, whatever way you find meaningful to you, let us know. It'll be really interesting to hear it.
Yeah, certainly will. So yeah, if you want to take part in this, take part. You want to send a text to a different person each day, just a short text, genuine text, telling them what you're grateful for that maybe they've done for you, or maybe the friend that they've been for you, whichever, over the Christmas period, and see what you think. See how does that make you feel? How did they react? And you can let me know. My social media handles are @wellbeing, both on Facebook and Instagram, and on Twitter it's @wellbeing without the G at the end. Thank you very much, Cleide.
Bye-bye now.
Thanks for listening to this episode of Wellbeing in the Kingdom, the show which has been created to empower you to take action towards your greater well-being in all its forms. If you have enjoyed, learned from, or been inspired by today's episode, then please help to support the show by leaving us a 5-star review wherever you get your podcasts. For more information, click the link in the show notes now.